What's up, fam? We are live. I'm going to give everybody a couple minutes to come on. But in the meantime, we're going to talk about the 2026 trust recession that is happening right now. And if you're not feeling it, I feel like you're not paying attention because the world's in chaos. And nobody trusts the government. Nobody trusts people. Nobody trusts brands. Nobody trusts big influencers. Nobody trusts all the fake flexing. Nobody trusts screenshots. Nobody trusts people's words. And really, AI is only making that worse. So with that said, this stream is going to be dedicated to teaching you guys how to not only succeed throughout the trust recession, but also profit from it. Because I'm assuming, like most people, you have a business or a service or a coaching or something that you want to get attention to make money. Because I don't really think anybody's doing social media anymore to have fun. It's more or less, you have to do it to make money. And yeah, with the job market the way it is, you're also probably new to turning to the stream and you're trying to make money and you're probably confused. So with that said, let me know in the chats if everything sounds okay. I'm still getting used to my streaming software, and if I mess this up at the beginning, I can edit this out later. But yeah, let me know if anybody's in the chat. Or Luis, how do we look on the chat? Or does it look okay? Luis says it's okay. Because yeah, learning this whole streaming thing is a 2026 goal of mine because I'm streaming every week. Normally it is on Thursday at 1 p.m. Today is obviously Wednesday. It's Christmas Eve, so Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, and all the other things. You know, Kwanzaa, whatever all the other things are out there that are politically correct that people say. So yeah, what's up, the Pond Digger? Some of the best names come up into the it's an interesting name, Pond Digger, but glad you're here regardless. So yeah, I'm gonna wrap for a second here and give people some time. We just sent an email. You gotta do like 100 different things. So if you're looking for something to build trust in 2026, you have to overly promote. Making this stream yesterday was probably not great on my part. I should have been promoting it since the last stream ended, which was a week ago. And I'm going to get better with that to remind people that this is there. But there's going to be the recording. So let's get moving and talk about the new rules of trust. Let me pull up I'm going to share my screen here. I got a document. If you want to download it, call it a worksheet. It's going to be ever evolving. I worked on it last night. I've kind of cultivated it this morning, and you guys can download it. It's a Google Drive doc. So, and if you constantly, depending on when you're watching this video or recording, it'll probably be updated because I'm going to keep it kind of going, or I'm just going to keep doing new streams to update it, because building in public and doing things live is probably your best bet moving into 2026. But you can only stream so much. And there is a learning curve to streaming, as I am finding out. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen here. And you guys should see the 8 rules of trust, the 2026 edition. And I'm going to, break this down and how this relates to you, kind of how to use this to kind of formulate your content plan or your promotional calendar moving into 2026. And again, this is from my experience. If you're new here, you don't know who I am, my name is Ryan Magin. I have a short-form content agency called Viral Edits. I have made over $4 million to date. I've averaged $1 million a year every year since. And you probably don't believe that either. So it's my job on this stream to prove to you that I know, what the hell I'm talking about, and give you a reason to stick around and listen and implement some of the things I say. So let's talk about trust. Now, a lot of trust right now, we can talk about what's eroding it. AI, people don't know what's real or fake. People are producing things with the flex culture mindset to convince you to buy things. And they're showing you an aspirational lifestyle. That worked really well for the last few years. I know a lot of people that do that really well, and it still works to a degree, but a lot of the smart people, particularly people that are probably watching this recording, are sensing that something is different. It's just not hitting the same. And I can tell you some of those people that are doing it are seeing less results from doing it. And more or less, culture has shifted to the point where we're just kind of burned out of seeing how good everybody else's life is. People are constantly reminded of, one, that they are probably broke, or they're struggling, or they're trying to accomplish a goal, and they're always comparing themselves to somebody else. That is visibly doing better than them. And they might not be. They might be doing worse than you, but they just appear to be doing better than you on the internet. And I would encourage everybody to kind of look at things from that lens. Just because you see it on the internet doesn't necessarily mean it's true. Doesn't necessarily mean it can't be faked. And people know how to do this very, very well. And this isn't a dig at, course creators and coaches and sellers, because everyone's got to get their bag. Everyone deserves to make money. A lot of people have good knowledge to share. And one of the best ways to do it is through service-based businesses, coaching and consulting, digital products, and all these things. I've been making money on the internet for over 14 years now at this point. It's just nobody really cared about me at all until TikTok. And I half the time feel like nobody gives a shit about me anyways. So I'm constantly trying to prove myself to the internet, which is kind of a mindset that you will have to get into, because nobody knows who you are at any given point. You have to earn people's trust. So with that said, let's talk about, actually, before I get into the 8 Rules of Trust 2026 edition, which you should be seeing on my screen anyways. And if you want this worksheet, it's going to be in the description after this live broadcast, so you can download it. There's no email, no gatekeeping there, although I probably should get your email at some point, but I'll earn that later. So there's a book called Robert Cialdini's Influence. The influence principles are kind of the backbone of marketing and psychology. And I want to encourage everybody to read Cialdini's Influence book, or just go type it into ChatGPT and say, summarize it for me, because that's what you're going to do anyways. But learn the principles. And a lot of the principles that you're going to see that build trust are what he speaks about in Influence. And the term influence means you influences somebody's beliefs or opinions, and in some cases their credit card or debit card to buy something from you. Everybody is doing that to you all the time. Content is influence. It's just you choose who you be influenced by. So understand that this is psychology. And if you start viewing your content as like psychology, I think you'll be more successful in the future. And you also have to understand that, the key thing for many people is going to be reach. And my principle and my belief since day one is go viral pretty much at all costs. And I say at all costs, I do have some asterisks around that. I'm not going to go viral for things that I do not believe in or things that I do not support. I've gone viral for many different topics, many different subjects. I've gotten over 100 million views on every single social media platform at this point. And I'm consistently averaging anywhere from 5 to 10 million views a month on my Instagram. Depending on how the tides are at this point with the social media and algorithms, like TikTok might be popping off, Instagram might be popping off, YouTube Shorts might be doing good, Facebook Reels might be doing good, Snapchat Spotlight might be doing okay. You need to be everywhere. It's not a choose one platform. Now, I do believe in focus. That's why I am an advocate. The irony of me doing this on a live stream, I'm still an advocate, and I have beliefs around you should grow as big as possible and get as many views as possible on short form and focus on that first, get really good at it, and then transfer that to a long form style audience. And you can start doing that by getting on other people's podcasts first, because I promise you start getting attention on short form, people want to invite you on their podcast and talk to you about what you're doing. That happened to me. That still happens to me. But at some point you need to kind of own the fact that people want to listen to you for longer periods of time. And short form is reach and relevance. Long form is beliefs and value and time spent watching a singular person. And if you can understand that and use these platforms accordingly, you will succeed. And most people, I think, would benefit from focusing on reach and relevance first, and then turning that audience into long form. And when I say long form, I don't really mean podcasts. I have like a halfway belief. I'm not 100% there. I don't think everybody needs a podcast. Everyone focuses on podcasts to get that watch time, and they do overproduce podcasts. They edit them, and unless you can compete on that level, you're stacking things very against you from the start. You're competing against the biggest podcasters on the internet the second you start. And I don't really believe that the lie that everybody wants to say of that you need to do, if you just get past 20 podcasts, all of a sudden you've hit some magical unlock button and you're going to succeed. It takes hundreds, if not thousands of podcasts to kind of break through. And you're probably still gonna have to do that anyways at some point. But I am a fan of live streams right now, and I think that's where 2026 is gonna go. The unscripted. I didn't script this. I have some bullet points, and you can read them. They're in front of me right now, and I'm probably gonna go way off script and touch on half of them because that's what I do. And it's more. I speak from experience and knowledge. And I think you can convey that the best through live stream. So if you're not thinking about going live, I would encourage you to do that. And I'm going to make a case for that right now. So let's talk about the 8 rules of trust. Number 1 is be seen often. Trust comes from repetition, not authority. The more you see something or somebody, the more you trust them by nature, or you're inclined to learn more about them so you can see if you distrust them or you trust them. That's where volume comes into play. You need to be on all the platforms, you need to be posting regularly, and you need to be getting your messages heard. Excuse me. Number 2, you need to show people how you think. Process builds more trust than outcomes. You can say, I've done this, but if you don't have the process, or you don't show the process, nobody believes you or trusts you, because anybody can say anything with an outcome. I made this much money, I worked with this person. But if you say that and you prove it with a process or proof of you doing the said thing, you will succeed in earning that trust. Number 3, use proof casually. Nobody likes to be force-fed. Oh, look how cool I am. Look how much money I made. Look why I'm doing this. You need to embed this imperfectly throughout your message all the time. And this is a form of CLD's principle of social proof. The more social proof you have, meaning other people are saying you're awesome, or results that you can show with screenshots, clips behind the scenes, this all builds social proof. But one is not going to do magic. It's a repetition over and over. And this comes pretty easy for a lot of people if you're posting enough content. The problem is most people don't post enough content. Then you got to be predictable. And I don't mean predictable as in your content style being the same, but your beliefs and your values and your message should be predictable. I've been saying the same things for 4, 5, 6 years now when it comes to short form and success on short form. I believe in higher volume, and I believe in going viral. And all my data that I see through my company, Viral Edits, we post around 4,000 videos a month, shows me that belief is still valid. And you also need to be willing to adjust your beliefs, but only when proven wrong with data. And I have the opportunity to see a lot of this data, and I'm sharing it now with you in a more long-form way. So again, I am doing all these things to you as you watch this. It's very meta of me. So consistent beliefs create safety. People kind of know what to expect. They know your opinions. They know what you may or may not say. And over enough time and repetition, people find comfort in that. It's people in a world of chaos, people like consistency. So number 5, owning your mistakes very publicly. Accountability over vulnerability theater. Everyone talks about being authentic and being vulnerable. I mean, how many times have you seen a girl crying on camera with a ring light and perfect set? We know it's fucking fake. You guys know it's fake. So it just needs to be, you need to take accountability for things when that time arrives. And also admit when you're wrong, admit when you're right, show proof when you're right. This is where the being seen often comes into play, and using your proof casually comes into play, plus showing your processes and how you think. Like I recently did, about a month ago, I tried to film, edit, and post 200 videos here live on YouTube. I also own the fact that I did not have a backup recording, and I lost the entire stream. I could have been mad about that. So to me, that doesn't even exist now. Like I'm not really showing that as proof, except I have a screenshot that still says processing to this day, which I'm still getting over that. I'm human. It was a big mistake on my part to not have a backup. But also, I'm still using the platform that I thought was going to fix it. So anyways, you also need to engage in public. Respond openly. If you remain silent, it erodes trust. What I mean by that is if you're being attacked publicly or you're saying opinions that are stronger than most people's, you have to be open to receiving feedback from that, meaning people in the comments, and people are going to make videos about you. I regularly have conversations with people that are clearly upset at me in the comments. I also make videos. I respond to comments. I do this on the regular. I don't do it every time because it's not great for your mental health, but I selectively choose ones that I know I can use this to make a point, which further builds trust. And also, if you're looking for things to get engagement, people love drama. People love when there's a reality TV show happening on their feed. Number 7, go longer to go deeper and build your world. And what I mean by that, long form earns belief, short form earns reach. Now, the longer people believe you, the longer time they spend with you. And that used to be, and it still is, a great medium, which is the podcast. But I think the 2026 medium needs to be streaming for many people. And I'm not saying you need to be a 24-hour live streamer like I did to do a challenge, but you need to put yourself out there, turn on the camera, and be unscripted. And that is a skill set that not everyone has. And then again, just like short form and getting views on short form and being a good short form creator, just like being a good, long form YouTube creator, a good podcaster takes reps. You have to do more and more and more and more and get good at it. But arguably, a live audience right now is probably one of the most valuable assets that you can acquire, because it is, in my opinion, the most authentic form of talking. Like, there's no scripting, there's no edits. Yes, I can do presentations and I can make bullet points, but you decide the longer you watch if I actually know what I'm talking about, because if I wouldn't talk for 24 hours if I didn't know what the hell I was talking about. That's a whole other skill set. If you can bullshit people for 24 hours. I mean, people can do that though. Anyways, number 8, charge like a professional. What I mean by that is clear monetization increases legitimacy. Nobody likes the DM me for pricing. Nobody likes they just want to know what they're getting and what it costs, which kind of goes against most all sales principles. And those sales principles are rooted in data and knowledge, but I think culture is forcing them to change, because I have friends that do a high sales call volume that people aren't showing up for calls. People don't want to book phone calls. People know they're going to be sold. But it changes the narrative if they know upfront, hey, this is what I'm charging, this is what I offer, this is what I do. I'm going to let you decide if you want to do it. If you have any questions about it, we can talk about it on the phone. But if you have questions about it, I probably did a horrible job explaining it in my content. So the more clear you can be in your content, the easier the sales is going to be. So these are the 8 rules. And there might be 9 or 10. This list might get longer. But these are just things that I've kind of seen, one, in talking extensively with ChatGPT and other people around me, of what I'm seeing in my own personal content, plus I'm experiencing in my own life, plus I'm fortunate enough to work with a lot of big influencers, and they share these things with me. And you guys are privy to that because that's what I'm sharing on my streams. So I'm going to talk about how I am using these 8 rules for myself and how I plan to kind of extend this moving into 2026. So number 1, be seen often. And this is from ChatGPT, kind of talking back at me about my own stuff and all the data and stuff that I put in it. So I posted volume across all formats. I recently posted 115 times to my Instagram. I don't recommend people do that. I think everyone could stand to increase their output by double, if not triple, what you're currently doing. If you're getting to the point where you're posting 3 to 5 times a day on each platform, I think you are hitting a content creator level that will help you succeed fast in 2026. Because right now, everyone is kind of throttling back. They're posting less. When everyone's doing this, you should be doing this. So people don't discover you once. Like, they need to live with you in their feed over and over and over again. And the algorithms love that. They love pushing creators that show up often and show up a lot. Because if you watch one Ryan Magin video, you might want to watch 5 others. So they can keep feeding you my content. They can keep sliding their ads in between them so the platforms make money, so it helps you. And this is a money game for everyone across the board. If you can help the platforms make money by keeping people on their platform, then you will succeed because they will push your content. And that comes down to getting people to watch your videos for longer. Show how you think. I show a lot of behind the scenes. I do day in the life videos where I show my travels, my filmings with clients, my conversations with clients. I did a 24-hour stream. I'm doing weekly streams. I'm trying to show as much behind the scenes as possible. to show how I think and how I come up with the results and how I do what I do. I screen record analytics, I narrate decisions, and I explain pivots in real time. People trust your reasoning, not just your results. That's how I use this. I want people to go, wow, that makes sense, what Ryan's saying. Even though a lot of what I say is contradicting to what many other content coaches say on a regular basis. I use proof casually. I don't hammer it down people's throats, but if you watch my stuff long enough, you will see me slide in things that show that I'm actually doing what I'm saying. I show real DMs, real numbers. I've showed my income many of times. Like, I was posting daily vlogs for like 30 days where I showed it in the openings. The only problem is I have a hard time of like, is this flexing or is this proof? So I get a little uncomfortable personally when the more I show my income, because also the income I show, which is impressive to the public, is not actually what I live, because if you have a business, you know that gross numbers is significantly different than net profit. So something I battle internally, but you know, I'm sure business owners on this, if you're watching this, you probably understand that. I show testimonials, but they're unpolished. They're usually me just talking to my clients, and I just hold a camera in their face. And I should probably do more of it. I don't do enough, but a lot of what I do feels unmanufactured, and that's by design. I don't want it to feel polished, because if it feels polished, people don't watch it. They don't trust it. I'm pretty predictable. My beliefs around platforms, discipline, volume, and creative behavior don't swing with the trends. People know what stance that you'll get from me. I'm doing not the same thing, but more of the same thing as I've progressed in my creator journey. I'm introducing new things like live streaming weekly. I'm also playing into my strengths and trying to bring up my weaknesses. YouTube has always been a weakness for me, but I don't have the infrastructure to focus on like carefully crafted, well-edited 10-minute videos. So what's the best thing that I can do? Go live. And right now it's at one time a week, and it might increase as if I see a positive ROI, or I see like an attention ROI. My live stream numbers are increasing. My short-term goal right now is to have 100 people on here live every time I go live on Thursday. And then it's also looking at the replay numbers and moving forward from there. I own my mistakes. I talk publicly about experiments that fail. In my eyes, the 200 video challenge was a fail. I didn't hit 200. I didn't record it. And a lot of things went wrong, and I openly talked about that. That was just a recent failure. I've talked about a lot of mistakes that I have made, and I'm going to be talking more and more about them. A lot of people have seen me engage in public. I attack haters all the time. Like, you come in my world, as in my Instagram, and you start saying some shit that I don't agree with, well, I'm going to let you know about it. And I also know that those create a really good engagement for me. Go long to go deep. This is where this is what I'm kind of caught. If you guys are familiar, my daughter's 9. Her name's Chandler. She plays Roblox. I know there's a lot of sketchy shit on Roblox, but I do, as a parent, I do my best to mitigate that. But they build worlds, and that is kind of what streaming and what content or personal branding is becoming right now. Luis just shared with me a clip from Justin Bieber. Justin Bieber has created his own world. It's a warehouse where he streams and he plays basketball, he plays music. You kind of need to create a world around you. And the cool thing is everyone has the tools to do that. But you have to kind of make an interesting world for people to want to be a part of. And if you have kids and you watch them play Roblox, they build their individual worlds, and they invite their people and friends in with them, and their friends explore their little worlds. And the same thing is happening on social media, and it's probably going to get even worse when VR goggles and glasses are a thing. Like, you need to cultivate a world where people want to be a part of. You know, so that's where short form, long form, live stream, all of that plays in. And then charge like a professional. I'm very open about my pricing in my agency. We sell a 6K offer or a 10K offer, and I also do packages that cost up to 30K. It's very clear what people get, it's very clear what it costs, and it's very clear how it's delivered. I've done my best to do that, and I also make it easy to charge people. Like, it should be a frictionless process. If you're trying to sell anything on the internet and it's hard for people to give you money, you're failing. It needs to be easy, but it becomes easy when people know exactly what they're getting, and then you build out systems and things to deliver on your word. And as long as you're doing that, I believe you will succeed, because there's a lot of people that sell shit that don't deliver. So if you're one of the few that actually delivers, You need to get good at showing what you deliver, which is where all of this kind of comes into play. So now, I gave you the rules. Now I showed you how I'm using them. And now this is kind of a summary of how I think you guys should use them, depending on where you're at. And whether you have 1,000 followers or 1,000,000 followers, it really doesn't matter, because you're going to have to do all of this. You will see faster results the bigger you get, because more views, more reach, more followers. They do play a role in this, but the principles are the same. So stop pretending, commit to creative experiments. This is like live stream often. You're seeing all the big creators do it. Gary Vee's been live streaming for a while. All the streamers, Neon, Sneeko, Kai Cenat, all these guys, they live stream often and they live stream a lot. I would not start this until you get comfortable doing it, but the only way you're going to get comfortable doing it is to start. So pick a time and then go live, whether nobody's there or 10,000 people are there. It doesn't matter. If there was anybody watching this, I wouldn't care. I'm still going to put it out there because the replay is live. The replay can be sent. The replay can be shared. You can clip from the replays if you're using a good camera setup like here. But I also understand there's an investment here. You got to get the gear. Although this simple setup that I have was not that expensive, and I could do this technically from my bedroom if I want. I've actually tried to recreate what a bedroom if I had looked like with a set behind me. But you don't have to go that far. You could just sit in a chair and talk. Stop pretending you already know the answer. What to do? Run public tests, posting volume, formats, platforms, hooks, name experiments before results exist. That's what I did with the 200 video challenge. Share updates even when it's not working. If anybody watched the stream, the whole time I was complaining about it not working. Experiments build more trust than wins. So whatever niche you're in or whatever products you sell, show yourself doing experiments, create series around you trying things, and invite people to come in and live that with you. That creates trust. Think in public. I'm a big believer with daily yapping. Just take out your phone and talk. If you struggle to make videos, you should be able to take out your phone and talk for 60 seconds. You know something. Like, yes, this is a skill. The more you do, the better you're going to get at speaking. But I think it's a very lucrative skill set to be able to just take out your phone, hold it in front of you, and hold somebody's attention for 60 seconds. Some of the, if you've seen Shelby Sapp, she's really good at doing it. My friend Christian Bonnier is really good at doing it. There's a lot of people, most content creators are very good at keeping you hooked in with their speech and their words. And the only way they've done that is because they've done probably thousands of them. And you also need to think about your content at scale. You have to choose parts of your content to be able to rapidly be able to produce. I am very anti-high production for this sake. High production, fancy edits, that slows people down to a crawl. That's why just taking out your phone and talking makes up for what editing and other production needs to happen maybe on other videos. There are certain types of content that provide different outcomes. Podcast clips generally have a little bit more authority than a phone yap. But a phone yap has way more trust and way more personal feel than a podcast clip. Talking straight to camera in just sharing your thoughts feels different than if you're just talking like you're on FaceTime to a friend. So you got to kind of do all of them, but don't overwhelm yourself with I have to do so much. I would choose one vertical, as in I'm just going to do one video a day every day from my cell phone and get used to doing that. And then I'm going to set up a little fake podcast set and I'm going to have my friend interview me. And then next month I'm going to do 30 more cell phone clips and then 10 podcast style clips. And you start upping your production as you get better and you're able to do that. Don't just post conclusions, post reasoning. What to show, your screens, your analytics, your notes, your calendars. Green screen videos are amazing for this. Why you choose option A over option B, what changed your mind. All of these things is like thinking in public, and you can do this very casually by talking to your phone. You want to let people audit how you think, like walk them through that process. That is a trust accelerator, and probably one of the fastest ones. Be predictable in your beliefs, but flexible in your tactics. I have a method we call the case method. And I'm going to explain that to you guys. I'm going to stop sharing my screen really quick and go to my main camera. Okay, so the case method. So case, C-A-S-E. So the C, and now this is if you're posting 30 videos, 60 videos, 90 videos. All of your content over time should do this repeatedly. It follows Robert Cialdini's principles. So number one, the C is connection. Your content should be connecting with people on a business level, on a personal level, on a belief level, on a value level. And you have the A, which is authority. Your content, some of your content should be authoritative in nature. This is where your tactics, your breakdowns, your podcast clips, you really going deep on your subject matter builds a lot of authority. And then you have your S, which is social proof. Social proof, testimonials, analytics, behind the scenes, people talking about you, you speaking on stages, people clapping at your information. That is social proof. That is other people saying that you're awesome, but you're not saying you're awesome. And then you have the E, which is, in this case, engagement. This is the types of content that is designed to create engagement. Usually your strongest opinions, your strongest beliefs, your strongest values, your strongest, in some cases, you can just make content to piss people off, but you want to create engagement around your page. And again, you used to be in direct response marketing to have to do all of this in one long video. And it usually didn't have a stop button, and it would start playing immediately. And it just did all this. And it started at like a 1 hour, 1.5 hour. And I've seen videos where they've gotten all this down to like 10 minutes. These are carefully crafted marketing messages. You've probably fallen victim to them and bought some pretty cool stuff from it. Or uncool stuff, depending on who you're buying from. But I'm not here to judge. So all of this stuff, the case, should be happening repeatedly on your social media because you're posting higher volume. So you need to be hitting connection, showing authority, getting social proof, getting engagement. All this should be happening month after month, day after week, day after day, year after year. And it builds on itself. I'm going to go back to my screen here. So that's what I mean by be predictable in your beliefs. So choose those things. Like, what do you want to develop a connection around? What do you want to cause engagement around? This is where you got to kind of get real with yourself and write all this stuff out. It takes some time to plan this out. But once you have it, you can continually pull from these buckets and continue to effortlessly make content. What to lock in, what you believe works, what you don't tolerate, what you're willing to test versus what you won't. The rule is consistency creates safety, and safety creates trust. Use volume as proof of confidence. This is where content at scale comes in. If you see somebody or something often, you assume that it's good. So the more volume you're putting out, the more people will assume that you are good. They will assume they should trust you and that they should pay attention because they can't get away from you. So what to do? Post often enough that fear disappears. For most people, 1 video a day is like a good baseline start, then 2 videos a day, then 3. Make sure those videos are being dispersed across all the platforms. I would say Snapchat Spotlight, Facebook Reels, Instagram Reels, TikTok, and YouTube Shorts. People trust those who aren't afraid to be wrong publicly. So also people are disagreeing with you or they're agreeing with you. This creates like an ecosystem for people to trust you. Number 5 is embed the proof casually. This is where I love green screen videos. Anytime a client sends you a cool text, pop it up in a green screen and say something about it. Anytime you see some crazy results in your analytics, make a green screen about it. Get in the habit of taking a screenshot, putting in a green screen video. You can use the Edits app or TikTok app. For whatever reason, the Edits app, and it is December 24th, is really wonky. I find the TikTok green screen app works much better. But I just recently had a video get 400,000 views with a glitchy green screen. So again, it doesn't really matter. It's what you're saying. Show real comments, real DMs, real numbers, real reactions. If the proof feels produced, the trust drops. It needs to feel incidental and casual. Like if it seems scripted, people assume it's an ad, people don't trust you. It needs to feel overall like a casual vibe. Oh, check this out. I just did this and it worked. Very easy to do, but I'm sure everybody watching this probably overthinks this, myself included. Respond in public, not in silence. And this is where I put destroy your haters selectively. If you get a hate comment or a troll comment and you know it's wrong and you have more opinions, I'm probably one of the few that'll tell you to lean in on that. I will put an asterisk next to that and say, It doesn't make it feel any better from the mental health standpoint. But no, the right people will see those things and they believe those things, and it creates a lot of engagement. And I think it's a lot of engagement around the right things. Now, I would not recommend you do this to every single angry comment you get. It's just a never-ending cesspool if you go down that rabbit hole. But be selective. Choose ones that fit a point that you, or a hill that you're willing to die on. 7, use weekly live streams as a trust engine and start building your world. That's exactly what I'm doing here. I would say go live once a week for 1 to 3 hours minimum. You can also take those clips, that live, and get it clipped up, and then those can go on your social media as well. That creates a little bit of an infrastructure. You might not be there yet, and you might have to do that yourself, but you have content to pull from to create content. And if you struggle to get videos out, it starts with just having content as a whole. So you're either filming it or you're clipping it. I would not structure these heavily, bullet points, talking points, and then kind of like fail forward in public and become better at talking for longer periods of time. Talk through decisions, not scripts. Let people sit with your thinking. That's where loyalty forms. And then number 8, monetize transparently and early. Don't hide that you have a business. Don't hide that you have a product. Openly talk about it so people are not shocked if you try to sell them. A lot of people make this mistake and they just don't do anything publicly. And then when they're like, oh yeah, hop on a call, and then you're selling them something, and then they get mad at you. They might not be mad at what you're selling, but they might just be mad that they didn't know they were walking into a sales style call. You have to be upfront with these things, and I think the more you're upfront with them, the more money you're going to make, or the more sales are going to close, or the more products you're going to sell. Sell what you're already explaining, explain pricings and intent, and stand behind the offer publicly. Like, I stand behind my agency's offer very publicly. I stand behind my team very publicly. I stand behind my skill set very publicly. If you're not willing to do that, you're probably not going to sell anything. Professionals charge, hobbyists hide. Like, people want to work with people that are confident in their product or service, so that should be you, and you should be confident. If you're selling it, you should be confident in it. And if you're unconfident, I would urge you to make a better product or a better service so you become confident in it. This is where experience plays a role. The longer you have experience, the longer you've been doing something, the more confident you appear on camera. And then charging increases trust when it's done cleanly. But yeah, so that is like my 8 rules of trust to help you through this trust recession. And again, this is probably going to change. If you're downloading this, I will put it in the description so you have it. I would check back maybe because it might change. But if you're following me on Instagram, I usually post many chats and stuff so you can get access to this stuff. And I'm going to get better with that in 2026 because I feel like that just needs to happen. With that said, does anybody have any questions on it? I don't know. Was that eye-opening for anybody? Let me pull up my chat box here. Got to figure out how to work my computer again, guys. Apologies. All right. Hey, let's see. What's up, Malik? Pond Digger. Pond Digger's going ham. Yeah, Pond Digger suggests I go back to my face during longer talks like this. Well, I missed that memo. Sorry, dude. But I thought my little face was in the corner. I guess I did not do that. Either way, I'm learning in public. Let's see. Hey, we got average view duration 8 minutes. Woo! That's what I'm also learning, that when you do live streams, you really have to get good at talking to like yourself because you don't know who's going to be there. Let's see. So, Pond Digger, anything I said that you need clarity on? Malik, if you're still here. If not, being that it's Christmas Eve, I'm not going to make this a marathon live stream. What's up, Javier? Daniel Chavez said, I'm in real estate and have 100,000 followers on TikTok. Been stagnant for a while, planning on doing lives. Anything else you can recommend? Just trying to help. No, I appreciate it, Ponda. I just want to make sure that my face is throwing now. Man, I thought this whole time I had like my face in the corner. I apologize, guys. What's up, Amir? If you just joined, you should probably go back and watch the first 40 or 39 minutes. Well, cool. So Danielle, you said I'm a real estate. I have 100,000 followers on TikTok. Been stagnant for a while. I'm planning on doing lives. Anything else? I mean, a lot of people are stagnant on TikTok, myself included. TikTok is definitely changed up. I think that's due to they want to push more UGC. And I think it's going to change even more. I honestly wouldn't make any crazy big decisions for your TikTok until after the first of the year, because they're about to merge with Oracle, and the whole like American buyout is going to be official, I believe, shortly after January. And I feel like it's going to change again. So it's like I'd probably take the week off for the rest of the year and then come back strong on the first. But Instagram, on the other hand, I'll be going, if you want to go live on Instagram, I'm more of I know that live streams obviously archive on Instagram, but if you want to do lives, I think YouTube is obviously the best place for those. If you can stream on other platforms like Kick and those, I mean, I don't know much about those. I'm just trying to focus on growing YouTube and getting you people used to me being live on YouTube. But other than that, you need more volume. You didn't say how many times you're posting on your short form. I would work to where you're posting 2 or 3 videos per day. If you're not there yet, I would try to get there first. And then I would probably maybe sustain that for 60 to 90 days and then start going live. You need to get the relevance going from the short. I hope that was helpful. Let's see. You have been consistent in your message, so more good stuff. Trying to be. And I'm also trying to be consistent on the weekly live streams. Because the amount of stuff you have to get just to go live is a lot. I got like like a monitor extension now. Oh, you guys see that? I'm not even using this yet. Dre, I don't even know how to use my monitor. No? It's on, but I have no idea how to like. Settings and display settings. Let's see. The Pond Digger said I do a weekly coaching call with my inner circle members, and I usually go live in our free Facebook page, but maybe I should stream. Yeah, you got to go live where people can see it. Nobody's hanging out in the Facebook group unless you have thousands of members, and even there, they're probably not all seeing it. YouTube is probably your best bet. I mean, if you've done it for 190 weeks consecutive, I would just turn that over and start doing it on YouTube, man. Just because YouTube archives, and if you have a decent thumbnail with AI, you can create some pretty cool thumbnails really quickly. Shout out to Luis for misspelling the thumbnail for me yesterday. He fixed it. But, I mean, even me, like, I use thumbnails as an excuse to not post long form for probably 3 years. Let's see. Thank you for the advice. I'm going to prioritize Instagram a lot more, going to do 2. Yeah. I mean, if you can get to where you're doing 3 posts a day and sustain it for 90 days, like, you're doing, I don't think, you're top 1% of creators if you can do that. And then if you sustain it for like the next year, you will grow. Danielle says, thank you for the advice. Oh, I'm sorry, I just read that one again. No problem, Pond Digger. But, does anybody do anything cool for Christmas? I'm deep frying a turkey. Never done that before. ChatGPT is going to help. Luis, you think it's going to be good? What's the over-under? Luis has never had deep-fried turkey, so... See, I'm building a world where people can have deep-fried turkey.
If a bird like fried chicken is amazing, then the turkey has to be amazing.
I mean, I'm going to say with confidence that my deep-fried turkey will be the best damn deep-fried turkey.
It's going to be the only one I've had.
Huh?
This is going to be the first one.
I know. Yeah, and people just don't be deep-frying turkeys a lot, so... And we will get live testimonials from Dre and Luis and the family tomorrow. Because if I fail publicly, there's gonna be about 25 people that are gonna tell me that my turkey sucked tomorrow. Deacon Fitness, what's up, dude? How far outside someone's niche should someone go? As far as you want, bro. It's an interest-based algorithm. So if you have an interest in something somebody else does, you might as well show up on those interests. And then people will find your face and come back. Daniel Chavez said, I feel like content is saturated. What would you say are the best ways to stand out besides volume being it is saturated. It's going to get worse. Like the job market is forcing everybody to come and create content because they're like, what do I do to make money? And they all have cell phones. the best recurring payment plan in the universe right now is the iPhone. Like, if only we made the phone, we'd all be way more richer. But I don't necessarily believe that content is saturated, but what's going to separate people is their ability to distribute content. Distribution is the key and the bottleneck for everybody, myself included. I have so much content that we're just trying to work on getting distributed. So that's why don't put roadblocks in place that stop your distribution. And roadblocks, in my mind, are like fancy editing or time spent editing, equipment, cameras, audio. Those are all great. I am not anti that. I'm using a $2,000 Sony and a lens, and I have lights, and I have a studio, but it's slow. What's fast is the video I made yesterday to promote this stream. It didn't do crazy. It got like 4,000 or 5,000 views, but it took me, I filmed it 3 different times. I chose the best option, or actually I had Luis choose the best option that he liked, and ironically it was the first one that I filmed. But it took me 3 minutes, 1 minute for each one to film it, because they're about 40 to 50 seconds each, or I think one was a minute 10. And then I looked at them and I posted the best one. It took like 3 minutes to set up a ManyChat link. I think, Luis, how long a ManyChat? You set that one up for me. ManyChat's pretty quick once you know how to use it. 5 minutes to set up ManyChat. So I had video filmed, posted, ManyChat linked up in 5 minutes. And then I took a thumbnail and I posted it. That is a speed to distribute. When you're making videos and you're editing with your phone, it is much faster. If you're editing a lot of videos, it's faster to do it with a laptop. You have to decide where your roadblocks for distribution fall and kind of, prioritize fixing that workflow. If you don't have an editor that works with you, then you're doing it all yourself. So what's the fastest for you? What's the bare minimum so you can get videos out 2-3 times a day? Then as you get that established, then you make it more difficult or try different styles. Because that's all editing does, is it makes the speed to post take longer. And I'm going to be doing a whole live stream about speed to post probably in the next week or so. It's kind of like a manifesto, if you will. Let's see. Yeah, Malik commented on my Morgan Wallen hat. I did not eat there. I did drink heavily there at Morgan Wallen's bar. The drinks tasted the same as every other bar. I mean, vodka sugar-free Red Bull usually does. But the merch there is pretty cool. Actually, Posties has better merch in Nashville right now. I think Post Malone's bar has the best merch. I have a t-shirt back there. Post Malone, I have a Posties hat. Yeah, I'm going to go out and say that Posties has the best merch on Broadway in Nashville right now. That could be a good clip. And it's December 24th, 2025. And I'm going back to Nashville in March, so I will go back to those, and I'll re-up and tell you guys if I still think the same. Let's see. How do you deal with the problem on Instagram? I can post photos, but I mostly post reels, so people don't really see the photos of me on my feed because there's too many videos. Well, they're 2 different feeds. You have a reels feed and a photos feed. People that like photos are going to see your photos. The people that like reels are going to see your reels. I don't tend to do a lot of photos just because I'm just not a. I do take good photos, but I'm not optimized for that. I'm optimized for volume on reels. I do like carousels. Carousels are great. I found that carousels tend to convert people more than reels do. I think it's because it's more of an intellectual act to read through and swipe through the carousels than just kind of turn your brain off and watch a video. So if you're not utilizing carousels, they might help you. But again, reels still get me like 5 to 10 million views a month. My carousels brought in about 200,000 last month. So relevance is from reels. I think the conversions is still like with carousels. I know there are people that are doing good carousels that are getting viral reach, but if you plan on selling anything, you need this. You need eye contact. At some point, somebody needs to see your face, connect with you, trust you, and that's where like Robert Cialdi's influence comes into play. And I just think you'll make more money if you do more reels, just based on psychology. First one, the best one. You can remove reels from the main feed and only show them on the reels feed. Just click the 3 dots. Yeah. I mean, but people are seeing everything. Like if people identify with photos or they engage with photos, they're gonna see more photos. So if you post more photos, and if you wanted to do 2 videos a day and 1 photo a day, and you can, maybe 1 day a month you could take 30 photos, or like once a week you do 7 photos. Like whatever you're trying to do, figure out how to do it at a scale to get it distributed. You don't really want to be day to day as often as possible. You want to kind of break free of that, so you have an archive, so videos and things can be posted, so you're not having to aggressively work to do that, and that takes some planning and preparation to do. Divine Energetics said, I use Adobe Premiere Pro to edit. What do I use? I use Instagram Edits app, I use TikTok, I use CapCut. I've pretty much gone away from all formal editing softwares. I think if you're going to use anything on your laptop, CapCut's probably the best. It's just faster. Premiere Pro is a heavy software, so most people run into a bottleneck of their computer doesn't even support the bulk of the actual program, especially if you're sending things overseas and having overseas editors edit your content. Like file sizes come into play. You have to kind of think about that stuff if you're doing, a higher amount of videos. But I mean, Premiere Pro is still kind of the industry standard for video editing, but I think CapCut is probably a really close second. And I would probably trust an editor that more if they've been editing videos for a long time, that's why they use Premiere Pro, but newer video editors are most likely going to be using CapCut. As a new creator, I think CapCut's the easiest to learn from a laptop, but the Instagram Edits app did basic edits on 115 of my videos, and they got 1 million views. So it's I would say learn CapCut and learn the actual built-in editing apps. And whatever you don't learn, you can literally go on YouTube and find out how to do anything. But this is where there's like a quality versus quantity kind of conundrum happening. Everyone that hears me say post more volume assumes that it's going to be like AI slop or human slop or just general non-valuable content. But I come from a different perspective where I believe valuable content is in the eye of the audience. Like let the audience will decide, or culture will decide, if your message is value based, and that metric is views. Is it shared? Is it commented on? Does it get views? Does it reach people? Because that to me is a quality video. Like I could care less, if it's high value but got no views. It didn't do anything. Nobody saw it. But I do differ in that opinion from many people. But I believe in that opinion. Can you see? Is the stream behind?
Yeah, about a couple seconds.
Couple seconds? Okay. Not that bad?
It's not as bad as before.
That's because we got that Speedify.
Yeah.
Speedify.
You get beautiful.
Yeah, Speedify. Jerry's making me laugh. Speedify. But yeah, it's just a matter, when it comes to editing, what can you do quickly to get your message out? I think that's more important right now, and that's a hill I'm willing to die on. Because, I mean, even Hermosi posted a clip not too long ago that they're posting like 450 times a week. Like, if you're posting 30 times a week, who's going to win? Like, you can't compete. Like, you're not even in the same playing field. You're not even, like, in the same universe as somebody who's doing that. Like, I don't care how great your one video is. It's not going to compete. And that's who you're competing against. And you're also competing with culture and society that is, I mean, what is it? Like, hang on. What does ChatGPT say for how many short form videos are posted every single day? How many Instagram reels are posted daily? Let's see, guys. This is like... There isn't a hard number. ChatGPT is not answering my question. No ChatGPT. I do not want a posting schedule. Because you probably would mess that up. Luis, do you have that number? Can you see in Perplexity how many Instagram Reels are posted in a day? Hold on, I'm looking that up. Luis, you're like Jamie.
Jamie. Luis. Luis.
I have a Jaime and a Jamal.
Yeah, you do actually. You got a Jesus and a.
No, it's a Luis and a Dre. I don't need a Jamie. I need to rename you guys. Hold on, guys. We're trying to see what ChatGPT says for. Coach K said estimated 50 million reels uploaded per day. Yeah, good luck with one video a day, guys. Evalda said, so TikTok is going to shift more towards UGC in 2026. I don't think they're I think TikTok is shifting to that specifically because they're making more money. And I think that's going to get worse when America buys it because, you know, I do think the algorithm, even though it was when it was owned by China predominantly, I think it was more creator focused. I think once America takes it, it's going to go straight for the money, which means that the more ads and more products they can push through TikTok and UGC, you know, which is also going to create a culture problem at some point because when everything looks like UGC, well, the pendulum might swing back to we need to make super high produced videos to not look like UGC. And that could happen. But right now, that's not happening. Probably 6 months. You know, I feel like everything's on like a 3 to 6 month timeline. So it's like when you're doing something. It's like you used to be able to make these like prediction videos for 2026. Like I know I'm guilty of that. But it's like you need to be like content prediction is 2026, quarter one.
There's like no accurate thing, but
Louis said there's no accurate thing.
25 to 120,000 reels per hour.
Yeah, Luis said he found it 25 to 100,000 reels are posted every hour. Look at me getting mad because it was taking me 10 minutes to upload a reel on my live stream. Come on, Masari. Get your shit together, Masari. I think he's probably the most authentic creator. Imagine the amount of people that are mad at him in his DMs. Like, everyone's just like, it's Adam Masari's fault. Fuck that guy. Adam, my video didn't get views. You suck. He's like with his family having Christmas dinner. It's like 47 DMs. I posted a video on Christmas Day and it got horrible views.
It was a good video. I spent a lot of time on it.
Yeah. I spent 17 hours editing it. Well, you talk like a potato. But either way, there's a lot of people uploading videos right now, and it's going to get significantly... I mean, it already has. I mean, the good old days of TikTok, like, there might have been maybe 10,000 videos uploaded in an hour. So you could post less and get more reach. Now you can't. Like, the math does not math. You know? But I would encourage everybody to get 100 videos out of them as fast as humanly possible. The faster you get 100 videos out, you get through like the stages of suck when it comes to creating videos. Like 0 to 20 is really bad. 20 to 40 is slightly better. 40 to 60, you're like, okay, I'm figuring this out. 60 to 80, you're like getting in your groove. And then 80 to 100, you probably have had something do well. So now at least you know what a good piece of content looks like from a engagement and view standpoint. You know, and then you just got to keep going. Like when I was having speakers, when I was choosing speakers to speak at the Attention Summit last year, one of my criteria was they have to have a minimum of 100 million views to speak. And there was a direct correlation on platforms of people that had over 1,000 videos. I think it was like 2,000 videos. All of them had over 100 million views. So just something to think about when you look at, like, math kind of explains everything. No problem, Divine Energetic Connections. I'd probably change, I think people need their names as the handles. I know that's hard though, because if you have a business, but it's easier to connect. All right. Well, the comments are slowing down. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap up this week's live stream. I'll be back next week. Actually, Thursday is New Year's Day, isn't it?
Is it?
Let's double check that. Let me check that date, guys. If anybody has any questions they want me to rip through, type them right now. I'll hang out a couple more minutes. I'm basically going to go as long as people are going. Let's see. Yeah, next week. Well, next week on Wednesday will be New Year's Eve and then New Year's Day. Ooh, the likelihood of me being functionally able to stream on New Year's Day. I hate getting older. I don't know what's the better day. Do I do it next Wednesday and then go back to my Thursday the following week, which would be January the 8th?
Yeah.
Or no, yeah. But I am going to be doing another marathon live stream on January 3rd. I'll be announcing that on my Instagram soon. To make up for the fact that I did not record the 24-hour live stream. Or at least I tried to record it. Yeah, I don't know. Do I want to do it Wednesday or Thursday next week? I'm going to probably say Wednesday. We're going to go with Wednesday again next week and then Thursday the following week. And then there'll be another one on a Saturday, January 3rd. How to create a month of content in one day. I think that's the date we're going to do it on. But I'll be announcing all this on my Instagram, so if you're not following me, go ahead and follow me there. And let's see if anybody else has commented. Bonding said I'll be live on New Year's Day. Appreciate you, brother. Don't do it on New Year's Day. I'm not going to do New Year's Day. I do not have that much self-control. So... all right, if you want to download the worksheet that I have, I'm going to link that in the description below if you're watching this from recording. If anybody watching this later wants any kind of help with consulting, I also do 1-hour consults. You can shoot me a DM on IG, and I can help you figure out your content for the next year. I'll put a link to that below as well. That is a fee. It's not free. My time is valuable. It is $1,000 for an hour, or we can do a $500 for 30 minutes. But yeah, that's it for this stream. I'll see everybody next week. Peace.